rise. Join us in the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. The Moines County Board of Supervisors, Tuesday, July 6th, 2021. Are there any changes to the tentative agenda?
None.
I believe we're removing the, okay. I believe we're removing the work session. Somebody double booked, wasn't us?
Yep, one does.
Okay, we will postpone that, so to be announced. Department heads, elected officials. Sarah Johnson, Des Moines County Auditor.
Good morning. We're just staying busy in the office and getting closer to, not this month, but next month is when everybody will be able to start filing their papers for the city. Of course, the schools have to file with the school clerks, but just staying busy.
Thank you, Terry. Colin Durst, IT.
Just keep busy like always, nothing new to report.
We didn't get shut down over the weekend, like sounds like quite a bit of the country did.
Yeah. No, all good.
Okay, that's good. Sheriff Glenn Denny.
Good morning. Things are going well for us. We're wrapping up our youth academy this week. I'd say that was a great success. All 9 youth that started it, they'll be graduating this Wednesday. We're gonna have a little ceremony for them at the sheriff's office. So it went really well. I think the kids that were involved enjoyed it a lot. So finishing that up, other than that, things are going well. And the jail population is at 74 this morning, and we have 5 out of county.
Pretty quiet weekend for you?
The guys were busy. They were pretty busy, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Well, that's impressive that everybody that started finished it.
Yes.
The youth academy.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
Did you tase? Did any of the youth get tased or any of that? Wasn't quite that extensive?
Yeah. So yeah, we can't use tasers for training on anybody under. We actually looked into some options on it and how extensive we were gonna try to do it, but taser, it won't stay behind that. So we decided we shouldn't do that either.
What if the board offered up the,
Yeah.
say, the newest?
Now,
the newest,
any
newly
adults-
elected supervisor?
I'd say by a majority.
Can I make a motion?
Out of order.
By a majority of the board, it would be final, right? So
Yeah, basically doing it in a meeting, be flopping around like a fish.
And the only reason we're picking on him, he's the youngest.
yeah.
Maybe that's what you need for your back.
Thank you, Sheriff.
People keep talking, I can't hear anything.
Brian Carter, Secondary Roads.
Good morning. Couple things to note, I guess. Same topics, just updates, I guess. Highway 99 bridge is still moving along. They are supposed to pour the last of the concrete on the north end here later this week. So that's a good sign. And that's actually the last of the concrete period, really. But still got finished shaping. They were hoping to start working on shoulders and final dirt shaping last week, and the rain chased them off. So hopefully this week we can get back to that. And yeah, kind of in the tedious part once that concrete's done. Just a lot of little stuff that's got to get done to be able to allow traffic on it, but it is good for the headway of the project. So just to give you an update on that. Certainly look forward to that wrapping up and people getting to use that again. Flint Bottom. Contractors hoping to finish the segment they're working on now, which is the western portion, and switch over to the eastern portion on Friday. I think that's pretty aggressive. I think it could be next week, but just to give you a heads up that that's all gonna change and people adapt. But we did send out letters to the local residents and such, but that will switch over and they'll be actively driving, I guess what I would say, on the new segment that we're finishing up. There's some seeding that needs to be done. That may get done after it's open to traffic, but and we'll do pavement markings once everything's done all at once. So anyway, that's good to see, good progress there. And it looks good. Reminder, sometime, again, the rain messes them up just like it does us, but on Highway 61, they do intend to do some significant traffic shifting over the next couple weeks. I'd give you a week, but I don't know if I even know what that is anymore with the fact that I know they've had some delays, again, weather related. But it is gonna come as soon as they can make it happen. So that'll be a significant change for people to adjust to for a little bit. Our shop site's moving along up on Iowa City Road. Possibly by the end of this week, it'll all be lockable and enclosable with the doors open and on and everything else. So sometime, like I told you before, I'll get a work session together and get you guys all out and look at projects and everything. I'll find a date and see what works for you guys. Sometime towards the latter part of July, we'll get out together. So, and I gave Jim, right before the meeting started, a petition that is being presented to you by the landowner. We've talked about this, we've had work sessions about this. This is a little stub of a portion of a dirt road on 235th Street, kind of what I'd say up east of Cassuth in that area, where landowner is petitioning to upgrade the dirt road. This is kind of a first of its kind. We've had this policy in place for a while, but this is the first one that's made it to this point. It's really a short segment, it's about 750 feet. When we get back out again, I'll show it to you again, but there's been a lot of legwork. So the policy, we'll go through the policy and everything, but the petition we're far enough now that I've already kind of worked on a very preliminary estimate. The landowner has an idea what they're gonna have for expenditures, because it's, as you'll note on that, it says 50% of the landowners, but the right-of-way is all there. There's already 66 foot of right-of-way. So, and that's the big reason for the percentage of landowners, because obviously you gotta have 66 feet as by our policy. But there is this is the resident on the north side and not on the south side. Basically, it's a family property where they're split off 3 acres and they're gonna build a house, and it happens to be down dirt road. So they're willing to put in their portion of the cost to upgrade the road. It's pretty small, I don't have an issue with it. We will go through a public hearing process on that, which I have not started towards yet, but they certainly want to proceed. So I wanted to present that. You'll notice I left the top blank. We'll need to fill that in, Terry. That got dropped off at my place this weekend, and so that's the beginning of you guys receiving a petition to upgrade a dirt road, and that'll follow through our policies, so.
Want me to enter this into correspondence?
I would do it under correspondence, I mean, personally. I just wanted you to be aware that it was there, and I guess I didn't let you know it was coming because I didn't know it was showing up at my place until 15 minutes before it showed up, so.
On going back to the 99
Yeah.
Ray Door Play Creek.
Yep.
They have any idea how much longer that's gonna be?
I'm still telling people August, and
August,
that's where I'm at now.
like 1st of August, middle of August?
I'm not giving people that much exact information anymore.
What, Brian?
I wish, Jim, I wish I never told anybody anything at this point, so, August, I don't know, I really don't. To guess now, we're so close, but there's still
Yeah.
a lot of details, and they all involve needing dry weather,
Yeah.
so.
That's the biggest question I get when I'm out and about.
Yeah, it's the number one question,
Yeah.
typically the second question also.
And then my stepdaughter's gotta drive through there, so you know I'm getting it
You
every
hear about
day.
it, yeah, you hear about both directions, I understand that, so, yeah, it's a hot topic, and, yeah.
But it's gonna be nice, it's worth the wait.
Well, nobody will have that issue again for, what, 70 to 80, 90, 100 years, something like that, so it was a necessary project, and that's just the way it goes, unfortunately,
Tom
so.
and I won't be around.
Shane will be the only one sitting here then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, so, anyway, I really don't know, I mean, I've seen things come together really quick, and I've seen things drag out, and again, if the rain shuts us down, then it's gonna take even longer, so. I do know the contractor does wanna get it done and open, so we'll just see how the weather plays along. So,
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Chris Lee, Conservation.
Let's see, last week we had a real good water quality symposium event. Even though it rained real hard the entire time, we still had 50+ people show up to it. Some good presentations. I'm working on getting those videos uploaded. We're gonna have those available online through our website. Just go to our website and through the Big Hollow page, you'll be able to find the water quality page for Big Hollow, and those videos will be on there. They'll be embedded from our YouTube page, so we'll have those on there.
How do you treat that? Do you use chemicals to treat what's already there?
No. So for the algae issues that we have on the lake, the only way to really fix it is to make the improvements in the watershed to reduce the nutrient loading that's reaching the lake.
Put some buffer strips or?
Yep. So on ag, it's buffer strips, it's waterways, wetlands, sediment ponds, things like that. And so stream bank stabilization, different places. And so the engineers working on the final details of the plan. And once they have that together, we'll have a little bit better of an idea of exactly where to target and kind of what practices to target to get the biggest bang for your buck. And then that'll all have to go to EPA to get approved. I have no idea how long that process takes, but once we have this plan approved, that will make us eligible for federal funding to do improvements in the watershed. And one of the things that I really want to do, similar to what Geo did, and that's hire a watershed coordinator using these funds, and to have somebody. And it may be that our project isn't big enough to justify a full-time person, but maybe we can share somebody with another project that's going around somewhere not too far away. And have somebody that's just completely focused on that watershed and doing the improvements. And then we have one central point of coordination, because there's a lot of agencies involved. There's us, there's Soil and Water District, there's DNR and IDOLs and all sorts of, different players involved and different funding sources. It would be nice to just have one central point of coordination that worked really well at Geo. And that's really that's the first thing I want to do once we get eligible for these funds. And so hopefully in the coming future, that's something we can do, and we can start working with the landowners in the watershed. We can start doing those things inside the park where we can do them on lands that we control, start moving the needle on fixing that nutrient issue and the algae issue in that way. It's, on a calm day, it's pretty profound to see. I mean, the whole lake will turn green with that floating duckweed.
I was out there, Ted.
Yeah.
Somebody brought up alfalfa hay. They said, have you ever heard of alfalfa hay? What's the deal with that? I've never heard that. Can you explain that?
I don't know a lot about it. As I understand it, in small bodies of water, you can put that in there, and that'll eat up some of that nutrient, and it helps that. In a large body of water like this, it won't touch it. From what I've understood.
The DNR guy said the large body wouldn't work, but
Right.
I've never think you go out and bale a bunch of alfalfa and then throw it in the
Throw it in the
lawn.
water.
That's
Yeah.
what we do.
You did?
We put a bale in our pond,
Oh, we darn.
Yeah, and so there's been several people that have suggested that, in the comments to the surveys or in emails that I've gotten from folks, and so as soon as I heard that, I sent that on to the water quality experts, and they said, yeah, in a small body of water, it can work, but in a large body where you're moving a lot of water through there, that won't work at scale. And so, but yeah, I mean, any ideas like that come up, we're all ears. So, so that was a great event. I was really happy to see that many people show up, despite the weather, because it just poured pretty much the whole time. But like I said, I'll have those. If anybody wants to see those presentations, those will be available this week through our website. Just come off 4th of July weekend, obviously. Had a good weekend in the parks, no big issues. I know like the boat ramps now, they're a mess, so I got the team going out. They'll be cleaning those up. It happens after every holiday weekend. There's always, especially 4th of July, I mean, we'll come back with truckloads full of trash and fireworks debris and stuff from all of our river sites and different things like that. So they're going out there doing that. Summer camps are going full bore right now. We had on our schedule a work session next week. I know Shane, I think you said you weren't gonna be able to go. This would have been Tuesday after our meeting next week to go out to Stars Cave. Is that still going to work? I sent an email out about it too, but this was gonna be our work session where we went and talked about our draft environmental education strategic plan. You guys could kind of see summer camps. You'd catch the tail end of the summer camp and kind of talk about our environmental education programming. So that was gonna be on the agenda for a work session next week. And so I'll get an email to you guys to check the schedules and
Do we have a work session on that handbook next week?
Yeah.
Suppose we could do it
I
after
forgot
that.
about that, yeah, if you guys want to do that after.
But, yeah, I
Or, I
thought,
mean, we can try it some other time. I'll get an email out, we'll coordinate schedules that way.
I gotta see you at the meeting in Muscatine that day too, I really need to be at that one.
okay.
So maybe next week might not work as well. So maybe we'll shoot for doing something else. And other than that, it's just kind of staying busy with everything else we got going on. Parks staying busy, just keeping on. So our board meeting did get changed due to scheduling conflicts. Instead of this week, our board meeting's going to be next week, the 14th, out of our office.
I did get one good thing out of that meeting, and that was an awesome pulled pork sandwich.
Thank you.
I received actually a correspondence, I guess I
Okay.
should have brought this up, but a lady was visiting Stars Cave and said the bridge was really slick, so you need to get some carpet and some, you know. Yeah, what do they call those little things when you're bowling, you know, and they got the little, the bumpers?
Oh, there you go.
Bumpers.
Yeah, maybe get some bumpers outside, but, you know, I'm making light of it, but no, I said that I would bring something up, but she said it was really slick on the bridge, it had just been raining, so you didn't wanna.
And that is a wooden deck bridge, so that does surprise me, but the guys are down there today working on it. We also have an issue where these big rains, we've got a lot of water coming in the building. It comes off that hillside and it runs right across the road and comes in our building. It's been causing some problems. So the guys are out there today with Skidler, we're trying to do some reshaping, trying to get that water diverted out around that building. While they're down there, I'll have them go check that, make sure we don't have some algae growing on top of that to make that even extra slick.
Getting that much water in?
Yeah. Yeah, we had puddles of water in the building during some of these big rains that we got. It just comes ripping down that hillside right there and just smacks right up against the building. So we're gonna try to put in some diversions to try to at least wrap it around. But I'll mention that to them. It could be that wood's got some algae on top of it, makes it extra slick when it's wet. We'll check it out.
Thank you.
Yeah, it used to be a bar down there, and then people down there drinking didn't mind that coming across their feet then.
Well, yeah. And, you know, just hose it out. That first floor does slope towards the creek, you know,
Yeah.
because it was an old barn, you just hose it out, but unfortunately, it doesn't work that way now.
I think Tom might have been down there a couple times.
Brook, the forest slopes in the water direction.
Right? So, that's all for today, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Chanel Nally Longquist, Des Moines County Treasurer.
Good morning. We're just keeping busy. The tax sale notification letters went out last week, so we should start to see some of that trickle in. Motor vehicles always busy, of course, summertime with your boat trailer, utility trailer, camper purchases, so we're just keeping busy. Nothing major to report. Busy.
Thanks, Chanel.
Are we dealing with the ATV thing after the work session, or are we not, are we,
We'll ask Natalie when we get to her. Lisa Schaefer, Des Moines County Attorney.
We're staying busy. This is our logjam month for jury trials. I think we have 8 or 9 that have to be tried by July 31st. So we're gonna be spending the afternoon trying to figure out how we're going to accomplish that. Other than that, I did previous to the meeting send out invitations on behalf of the Burlington Police Department, the Sheriff's Office, and the County Attorney's Office to National Night Out. It is August 3rd, it'll be down on the riverfront from 6 to 9. Basically what National Night Out is, it's a national program. Burlington hasn't done it for several years, but we've decided to reboot it this year. It's basically a community event to encourage interaction between law enforcement as well as all of our other first responders. We have, I believe, Kevin can correct me, I think it's Burlington Police Department, Sheriff's Office, our office, the Fire Department, Emergency Management, Danville Fire Department, Mediapolis Fire Department, the National Guard. I know I'm forgetting people, but those are amongst some of the groups that'll be there. We had decided to make it more of a first responder event than exclusively law enforcement. There'll be free food, kids activities. I know there's a bike rodeo. There'll be canine demonstrations from both of the departments. The tactical team will have their equipment down there. it'll just be a really good event for the community to kind of see some of the things that all of the first responders do, and frankly, the kids enjoy playing with the equipment. I think the Med Force is gonna have one of their helicopters come in and land, so kids will be able to tour that. It should just be a really good, fun event. I do believe we're gonna try to have some prizes. We're still working on that particular part of it, of a variety of sources, but we encourage everyone to attend. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. So when I say weather, I'm like it's not too hot.
Do you need help with donations for prizes, or you got that locked up, or?
We can always use help with donations for prizes. So yeah, if you've got some sources, just let me know.
Thank you, Lisa. Natalie Stefner, Warren County Reporter.
Good morning. No, I did not get a work session set up yet. We wanted to include Kevin and maybe Trent or Lisa from the county attorney's office to look over the ORB ordinance. The DNR did change some of the descriptions, I think, of the units a little bit, and then just how we, the ordinance itself, what we're required, or what the board wanted us to do as far as completing an application and everything that we had to take in. So I need to get with you guys to see when a time will work, because I know Tom requested both of you guys there at it, since it is your ordinance, I guess you could say. Maybe update that a little bit.
Is what the state put in, you know, on these UTVs and ATVs, that's gonna affect our ordinance a little bit. I've been reading theirs and then ours, so it is something we really need to do.
If they redefine something, I just, we'll have to change it. I just assume the attorney looks at it and says, you can do this, you can't do this, you have to do this. And the sheriff can look at it and says, you can't do that, it won't work.
Right.
So-
Yeah, just looking with some of the other counties, the process that we go through and what we require, a lot of them don't. So just to kind of go over that and discuss it.
And Sheriff and I spoke about it three times. I believe the ordinance working pretty well for, as far as not having, creating any problems that
Yeah, no major
that didn't
issues.
exist before,
Correct.
and taking care of some of them maybe.
Also, the governor did sign into law the Code of Iowa 331-604 subsection 3. I think this section was kind of snuck in. The legislation, it did go into effect July 1st. The bill is also known as Back the Blue. It includes provisions relating to the redaction of public records for the protection of current and former law enforcement professionals. So this is going to affect the county assessor staff, the recorder, and the county recorder staff. We shall redact the requester's name contained in electronic documents that are displayed for public access through the internet site. So we do have a form here that was created just in a short time notice by the Iowa Land Records and the Iowa County Recorders Association. I did have Trent look it over and got his approval that it was okay to use. So upon request by a peace officer or defined section of 801.4, civilian employees of law enforcement agency or state or federal judicial officers or state or federal prosecutors, like I said, the county assessor and the recorder shall redact the requester's name contained in electronic documents that are displayed for public access through the internet site. So there's still a lot of unknown in the process that the recorder's office and the assessor's office has to follow, but so we do have forms available for any of those law enforcement officers, and then we're gonna have to kind of figure some of it out as we go.
Thank you, Natalie.
And that's it.
Ken Heinlein, Community Services.
Good morning. Just keeping busy, nothing much to report right now. I will say I was a graduate of Mediapolis High School, and we were supposed to have our 40-year reunion a year ago, but COVID happened, and so we're supposed to have our 40-year reunion this weekend. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. It's actually been 41 years, but that'll be fun this weekend to see people I haven't seen in a long time. So that's about it.
40 years, huh?
He said that publicly too.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
I graduated from Mediapolis High School also 60 years ago.
Oh, wow. It was a good high school.
Well,
Still is, they tell me. Thank you, Ken. Rodney Wiesner, maintenance.
Good morning, just continue to stay busy. Just like a lot of other departments, the weather hasn't been the most favorable, so we're trying to catch up with some of that stuff along with everything else. So continue to be appreciative of all the departments of being patient with us. We're not quite getting everything as quickly as we used to or like to, so we're still in the process of getting applications. So continue, if you guys know anybody that's looking for a job, to continue to send their apps in. So we'll be looking at doing some backgrounds on some of those that we have gotten and get some interviews and hopefully get somebody here soon, so.
You could always tell them that you can't get to it because the bridge is out.
Yeah. That's what we generally tell them first off, and then give them Brian's number, so.
I see that, you got the trash container chained to the wall.
Yeah,
Does it have a tendency to roll out, does it?
it does now, and it's nice and smooth out there. Before it was so broken up, it kind of sat in some pockets in the
I was
house.
kinda hoping they found another place for it, so there's room for 3 cars there.
Yeah, we'll take a look and see, we might.
Ronnie, do you have any idea what the power fluctuations were going on Friday? Any idea what caused any of that stuff?
I'm not sure, I have not heard.
The
Yeah,
bridge
they'd
is
have a-
closed, call me.
Had something to do with the bridge, the power.
There you go.
Had some air conditioning issues yesterday at the jail, that was due to the bridge as well. We're working on that, but, no, that's all I have for now. We continue to be busy, thank you.
Krista Poggemiller, Public Health. Has the bridge had an effect on the COVID rate?
It has, yes. Now no, we've been out doing vaccine clinics over the weekend. We were at the West Burlington fireworks, and so set up during the day there, encouraging people to get their vaccinations. Tonight, we'll be at the Bees Diamond. So we'll be giving vaccines. Anyone who gets a vaccine before the game and gets one of our cards can go to the window, and the Burlington Bees is giving them free admission into the game then. So hoping to get some people motivated to get their vaccinations. And we're continuing on with the farmers market on Thursday nights from 4 to 7 on 500th Street at Jefferson, as well as in our office during the week. So currently, vaccination rates we've given is 38.1% for the county. And our case count has been 7 cases, positive COVID cases in the last 7 days, which is 4%, but again, that's based on the number of people that test, so just continuing on.
Thanks, Krista. Anybody online?
I got Zach James with land use on here.
Zach James, land use?
Good morning, can you hear me?
We can.
Perfect, sorry I couldn't be there in person this morning, I had another meeting at 8, so kind of ran into a time crunch. First thing of note, I was born after Jim and Ken graduated high school, just to make those guys feel a little bit older. But hope you enjoy your reunion this weekend, Ken.
Thanks.
Not a whole lot new, it's been kind of a slow week. Still have a few kind of outstanding subdivisions, floodplain ordinance, or floodplain permits, but nothing too pressing. Still have ordinance review by the county attorney's office for subdivision and zoning ordinances. So I want to thank them for taking the time to do that. I know they're really busy right now. But Trent's been really good working with us and going through those things. And then we haven't really talked about it much over the course of time, just because the changes are a little more minor. But as part of that whole process, we're also we're looking at the floodplain development ordinance. And so we had a few minor things that we were looking at there, and we just had reviewed by the Iowa DNR floodplain development department up there. So I think everything is good to go on that ordinance as well. So hopefully we'll be able to, I'm gonna actually be meeting with Jared later this week on kind of a timeline for getting all those finalized and approved. So hopefully that'll be sooner than later. But other than that, nothing else new to report.
Thank you, Zach.
So, thank you.
Didn't miss anybody, did Okay. Correspondence.
I have none.
I have none. We have a petition, a road petition, presented to the Des Moines County Board of Supervisors. We, the undersigned owners of 50% of the lands adjacent to or abutting upon the following described road, a roadway in the east half, section 20, P-72N, R-2W of the 5th PM, Des Moines County, Iowa, known as 235th Street, beginning at 92nd Avenue and running westerly for 750 plus or minus feet. Hereby petition the Board of Supervisors for the grading and granular surfacing of the above described roadway in accordance with the B-level upgrade policy resolution approved by the Des Moines County Board of Supervisors on November 4th, 2014. Signed by K. Wirt at 23575 90th Avenue, Mediapolis.
And just for the record, Kay is the mother-in-law or the mom of the, depending on which one you want to pick, the couple that wants to actually upgrade the road. So she owns the ground right now. So.
You want to be careful with mothers. Several years ago, there was a little controversy in Danville that the Danville City Council wasn't going to let them set off some fireworks at the football game, and the football mothers showed up here. And
mothers came down to the meeting?
if there's a group of people you do not want to mess with, so they wanted to set them up across the street in the county. Feel free.
When you said that, I looked and I saw all the mothers go.
You know, the funny thing about that is, they got to set them up across the street.
That's what they gotta do.
That's the, I think the city council might have postponed a meeting because they did not.
They were scared of the mothers.
They didn't want us showing up. Okay, we will proceed to discussion and vote. We have accounts payable claims, the amount of $641,444.63.
Move to approve.
Second.
Terry?
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Shane Campbell?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. We have a resolution approving issuance of general obligation loan agreement anticipation project note not to exceed $250,000. This might sound familiar to some of you from last week. We had two such notes. This actually isn't our fault. The attorney only set two of the resolutions instead of the third one, so two got put on the agenda and instead of this one, so rather than run afoul of Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, whatever it is, we backed this one up, which doesn't affect anything. We haven't borrowed anything for this, but this is for the $250,000 for the line of credit that will be used for the sheriff's vehicles and equipment and that sort of thing. That has to be kept separate from other capital expenses, according to the Code of Iowa.
I move to approve resolution 2021-039.
Second.
Terry?
Shane Campbell?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. We have a fireworks permit for Scott and Laura Hobrick. It's rescheduled for August 21st due to inclement weather.
Move to approve.
Second.
Terry?
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Shane Campbell?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. personnel actions for DESCOM. We have Kirk Schnaden, Communications Operator 2, a promotion to Training Supervisor. Previous rate was $25.19. The new rate is $27.86. And Michelle Talley, a Communications Operator 2, a promotion to Personnel Supervisor. Previous rate was $25.19, and the new rate is $27.86. Move to approve.
Second?
Terry?
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We have reports. We have the General Assistance Monthly Report for June 2021 and the Veterans Affairs Monthly Report for June 2021. These reports will be on file in the auditor's office and available for public review. We have minutes for the regular meeting of June 29th, 2021.
Move to approve?
Second.
Terry? Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Shane McCampbell,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Any other business? Future agenda items. You're gonna take care of a work session for that, and I think we've got, next week, we've got the handbook. So. Committee reports.
Well, the only thing I did was went to that watershed thing Chris had, and he pretty well updated you on that. He did mention one thing, the fish presentation was amazing, how, what this watershed did to the fish in there. I would never believe that, but,
What a doodle.
well, how it can stunt the growth of them, you know.
Oh, that algae?
The algae and that, and then he explained different types of fish that was in there.
Yeah.
And had a chart up there and told how many was caught, you know, and how big they was, where the scale should be, and right now they're pretty well in line, aren't they?
Yeah, a couple of them are running a little obese. So nutrients in.
That's
yeah.
the best kind of fish.
I know, right? So the last couple times they've done sampling, they've said that, you know, your fish are running actually on the large end of the chart. Nutrient loading in lake is kind of one of those catch-22 type deals. A lot of it, you know, does create a lot of nutrients and grows really big fish, but if you get too much of it, and it grows and then it dies and sucks up all the oxygen out of the water, and it'll reduce the oxygen levels in your water and kill the fish. And so it's that kind of fine balance in there. And then we've had anglers report turning up yellow bass in that lake. And if we get those, population of those established in there, those can really wreck the fisheries because they'll outcompete the fish that you want in there. And so they haven't, the DNR hasn't turned up any in their electric shocking surveys, so hopefully we don't have a viable population in there, but we suspect some bucket biologists brought some over when they were draining geo and put them in that lake. Hopefully the muskies.
Who would have done that, a biologist?
We call them bucket biologists, so it's generally anglers that.
Oh, somebody using minnows for bait?
Well, we think probably what they did is they caught a bunch out of geode when they lifted all the restrictions when they were draining that, and then they brought them over live and put them in Big Hollow, because they are fun to catch. It's just, you get way too many of them in the lake, and then a lot of them compete the crappie and the bluegill and the bass, and you really don't, in a lake like Big Hollow, you don't want them in there. And so we're hopeful that the big bass and the muskies.
Haven't hurt the muskies, have they?
Doesn't appear to. I have seen some pictures of just some monstrous muskie coming out of that lake. It's, yeah, if I hooked in one of those, that'd be one hell of a ride, for sure.
Thank you, Chris.
At my workforce development board meeting, and on July 15th, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Heartland Harley Davidson parking lot, there's gonna be a job fair, so if you need a job, come on out. That's about all I do.
I attended a meeting with members of the SEAL region with Senator Reichman from District 42 and Representative Mitchell from District 84. We discussed that new law affecting the mental health funding and some questions we had that the law doesn't address yet, and some possible improvements. So that was all I had. Public input. If anybody from the public would like to address the board, you may email the board at board@dmcounty.com, that's BOARD@dmcounty.com, or call 319-753-8203, extension 4. That's 319-753-8203, extension 4. We'll give you a couple minutes to initiate that call or that email. Anybody in attendance have any comments?
June, all right. July 15th, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., Heartland Harley Davidson parking lot.
Trust y'all had a good Independence Day. I know the sheriff did. He was at the parade with a posse.
Brought them all out.
I was on my best behavior. I was afraid he'd sworn them all in as temporary deputies.
You seen these Viking ships, you know, they have this big, I don't know what statue are out there on there. That was really impressive, that when they took off, tank was right up there where that, on that boat that they was towing. The kids like that.
Yeah,
Dog.
he
Kids
steals
like
the show.
Huh?
We love to bring him out because it takes all the attention off of us.
Yeah.
We were gonna actually walk, but we thought the ground might be a little bit hot for Tank's feet walking down there. So we put him in the bow and it worked out great.
Good. You could have walked.
Yeah, I know. The ground was hot on my feet too.
We've got to protect the sheriff's feet.
Tom and I got to ride in a Corvette.
They had me set up for that, but when they sent out the initial email, I sent out a group email, said, hey, if anybody wants to get in the parade with us, we're gonna do it, and
Yeah.
had a bunch of responses, and then I just couldn't tell them no, so we went with the original plan.
Well, no further comment. With an aye, we're adjourned.
Aye.
We're adjourned.